Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Wanted to talk to you a little bit today. It's getting chilly out. I usually do my lives outside, and I'm realizing that it's getting a little chillier now that it's fall, and so that may have to change. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what about prepared food if you are wanting to eat healthier, if you're wanting to change the way that you eat, and you are curious about food preparation. I wanted to, hey Ray, I wanted to kind of walk through some of the things that I look at. I had a client send me a message the other day and say, hey, what about this? What about this particular company? What about this particular brand? So I thought I would walk you through what I looked at to decide if this was a healthy alternative, because sometimes when you have prepared food, it can either be like ingredients can kind of sneak in that you may not know about or that may not be as healthy for you. So that's something that I usually look for. I want to look at what kind of foods are they making, what are they offering, what are the portion sizes, what kind of ingredients are they including. Hey Joanne, it's good to see you. In what they're making. So this particular one is called Hungryroot, and I've never tried them. I just went online and started looking at some of their options, and maybe you can see, I'm going to show you my computer. I'm going to turn it around. So you can see one of the things that's on, oh good, I'm glad you can see it. At least I got a thumbs up from Joanne. So Hungryroot has a whole bunch of information about all of their different, breakfast choices, lunch choices, their sides. If you go way down here, it's got dinner, and you can see all the different possibilities, and then dessert and some of the sauces. The thing about Hungryroot, turn it back around. The thing about Hungryroot is their food is vegan. Or at least you have the choice for vegan. I think there might be some dairy in some of them if you choose to, and they have a choice for gluten-free, so you can select. So right there, I'm giving that like a positive. That's a good thing that you have that option. And if they say they're gluten-free, some people will say gluten, does not contain gluten, and so you have to be a little careful about that. You may also have to be careful about things that say like natural, all natural, or ingredients. So this one I was looking at, and so far what I looked at I thought it looked pretty good. The other thing I look at is not just the ingredients, but or what they're making, but also things. So they had on there the calories, which I'm not as concerned with calories as I am with things like the sugars that they have, and specifically the added sugars. So looking for the added sugars. So as I was looking down the breakfast list, there was like banana bread, overnight oats. So oats, I'm assuming if they had oats, like that was one of the, either have a gluten-free oat if you have to choose that option, or they just don't give you that particular one. It had 10 sugars, and I'm assuming that's from the banana part of it, because there were less than one added sugar. So that's what I want to see, is almost no added sugar. And if they have an added sugar, then I want to see ingredients that might be more natural type sugar, like honey or maple syrup, or something that is a little more nutrient dense than evaporated cane syrup, or oh my gosh, corn syrup. Like I can't even, like it doesn't even enter my mind anymore, because I think nobody does that anymore, but they do. So when I'm looking at, I'm also looking at, I'm going to kind of show you again. I'm also looking at, let's see, it may be too hard to see. So here's the sugar, here's the added sugar. For me, I'm not as interested in fat. I think a healthy fat is a good thing. And over here, let's see if I can show you, is protein, right? So I'm curious how much protein is here. And you can see, like in the banana, let's take that first one, banana bread, overnight oats. You can kind of, that's the very first line. It's got 290 calories, 60 calories from fat, 9 grams of protein. That's pretty good, but The thing that concerns me a little bit with that particular one is that it's 9 grams of protein with 48 carbohydrates, and 10 grams of sugar. It does have 8 grams of fiber, which is good. And then, depending on what else you might be interested in, you can look down here. They also have vitamin A, vitamin D, calcium, potassium, all that sort of good stuff. So the reason that this is important to look at if you're looking at the processed food is, this particular one had nutrient information, but it didn't have the ingredients. So I would be curious if when you receive their information, does it have, exactly what the ingredients of each one, contain, each package that you contain. And I do have a friend who did try Hungryroot, and she said that Hungryroot was, oh, hey, Lene, hey, Jim, it's good to see you, that Hungryroot was good. She liked the sauces, but that it was too much for one person. It's really meant for 2 people. So I'm not an affiliate. I don't have any money from them. I've never tried them, but I wanted to go through the process of looking at what is included. So I'll show you another page that they have so that you can get an idea of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to flip it around again. So this particular page had whether or not you're vegan, are you vegetarian, are you gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, soy-free. So it even had quite a few options for, well, I do want to be, vegetarian, and I need to be soy-free as well, which some people do need to do that. And it had some choices that you could say like, oh, like this one for me, I'm not a big fan of pasta, partially because I'm just used to being gluten-free, but they had a zucchini lentil pasta salad. So I thought, well, that sounds good. It's got beans as a protein. I like that. I love lentils. I love zucchini. So it's got some different things that looked interesting to me that you could choose like, hey, this is what I might like to try. So those are the kinds of things that I want you to look for. If you're thinking, oh, maybe a prepared package might be good for me, I want you to look at the sugars. What kind of sugar? What kind of nutrients? Do they have vegetables? Do you need to add your own vegetables? What kind of other added ingredients might they have? Like that natural flavoring is a real kicker if you're trying to go gluten-free. Sometimes that can actually be gluten. So that's something to be careful of. Look at what kind of fat they're adding. Is it avocado? Is it olive oil or coconut oil? Those can be really good healthy fats. It can be good, especially, or nuts. That's another really great fat that can be really helpful for, especially if you are switching to a plant-based lifestyle. So the other piece that I look at is that it would be hard to look at until it gets here is how fresh is it, right? That's what I want to know, because when food is packaged, then it's processed in some way. And so how well does it last? How good does it taste? Those are things that I'm not going to be able to tell from a website, that I'd be really curious about with this particular company. They also have desserts, which, they did have their chocolate chip cookie was made out of chickpeas, which I make that at home. I think that's great. Again, I was thinking about this. I think I might be just a tiny bit of a control freak when it comes to food because, a recipe will say add a cup of maple syrup, and I'm like, you don't need a cup, and I'll add in half of that. And to me, it tastes totally sweet still. And again, that's kind of like the live that we talked about yesterday, is your taste buds change when you start eating differently. So I like that they have protein mixed in with their desserts, but I like to encourage people that you don't really need desserts. But if you're transitioning from going from regular chocolate cake to maybe something that might be a little bit healthier because it has some more nutrient dense pieces in it, then maybe that's a good way to start. So I hope this is helpful as you're looking at what can I eat? Can I get something that's easier to eat for me? And, the price would be the other point that you would have to answer for yourself. Is that price a good price for you? You know, for me, we work really hard at staying home to eat. So it would be more expensive for us, for our family of 4, to try to order enough food to feed 4 people than it would be for me to just go buy the groceries. But I know for some individuals, they're wanting to go from eating out a lot to cooking at home more, and this might be a great solution for them. So I'm curious if you've tried other prepared foods. You know, I'll say I've tried some of the prepared foods at Trader Joe's, and I've been really disappointed in how they taste. I always think, gosh, I can cook that better than they can. Or I like the taste of it better, maybe I'll say that. So I'd be curious if you've tried Hungry Root. Have you tried, I've seen Purple Carrot maybe, or, you know, there aren't very many ones that have both vegan and gluten-free options. So I'd be curious if you've tried something and you like it. Let me know in the comments before, or if you've tried something and you didn't like it. I would love to know that also, because I make recommendations to my clients all the time, and I would love to know what works and what doesn't work. But this process of looking at the sugar, looking at the ingredients, is the same thing I do in the grocery store. It's the same thing I do when I look at recipes, and it's what I'm doing when I'm looking at is a prepared food product a good thing to recommend to my clients. Okay, I hope this is helpful. I will talk to you soon. Have a great Thursday. Bye.